quick. Just some breaking news. Just got announced maybe a couple hours ago by Brett Okamoto over at ESPN. The UFC 236 main event has been announced. Max Holloway, the 145-pound champion, versus Dustin Poirier for the 155-pound interim belt. Wayne, this comes as a shock to a lot of people because we've heard rumors all week that, you know, maybe Max and Tony Ferguson would be fighting. We've heard some stuff on that, and Dustin Poirier was just posting about how he wish he'd go ahead and get his release. And then all of a sudden, boom, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. I'm a little floored. I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about this, but it just seems weird, right? Because Max Holloway. Yeah, it's a great fight. Max Holloway is just jumping right into the picture. It seems like the 155-pound title picture is really what is Ferguson going to do? Because he posted that there wasn't the right deal. They got something else cooking. Something. Only thing I'm thinking is a guaranteed title fight against Khabib, but then that defeats the purpose of the That defeats the purpose of the interim, or maybe Conor.
Is that another Colby situation? Why did Colby get an interim belt if he wasn't guaranteed that next shot? So I'm going to throw this out there. Did Dustin call their bluff and force them to make this an interim? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they looked at that, and then they obviously offered Tony an interim belt. Tony deserves to fight for the belt. So why are they creating an interim? Just throwing that out there. Why are they actually doing it? How far off is Khabib? I know Khabib, even if he's 6, 9, 12 months, whatever the suspension, whatever happens with him, even if it is, 9 months, 12 months away, there's been champions that have been on the shelf longer than that. I just think this is really reactive by the UFC. In saying that, I love this actual fight, even if it wasn't for a title, this really excites me. So, what are your thoughts on the fight?
Man, no, the fight itself, man, I love it. I think it's going to be a long night for Dustin Poirier because I just think I like both of them. So, but Max, I feel like Max right now is in such a good place with where he's at in his career. I think right now he's unstoppable. I think him being Max, a depleted Max Holloway, a drained Max Holloway, is a monster. Add 10 more pounds that he doesn't have to cut. The dude's going to be unstoppable at 155. I really believe that. And I think Dustin Poirier, he's a smart fighter. He can take a lot of damage. He's very durable. Yeah. But I just think it's going to be a long night for him. I really do.
At 145, he was a beast, but stepping up 155, look, I'll put it straight out there. I expect Max to take the win, but I think Dustin has a puncher's chance. You've got 8-ounce gloves on. Anything can happen, but I reckon it's 75-25 that he loses to Max Holloway.
I think those are fair numbers. Like you said, because Dustin Poirier, he's no slouch. I'm not going to say this is an easy win. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Because Dustin Poirier is not going down. I really don't see it. He rarely ever gets knocked down, man. So I just kind of see this going the distance, him taking a lot of damage, and Max Holloway winning by unanimous decision or something. I don't see.
Let's go back a step. Sorry, let's go.
Yeah.
But this fight should happen without a belt. What's with the double champ? This fight should be for the #1 contender, main event, 5 rounds. Whoever wins takes on the returning Khabib. Why are we doing interims? I just think it really cheapens the division. It's going to be another Colby situation where if Tony comes and fights Khabib, well, what happens with the interim? Again, it's just going to be taken off them. I don't know why they're doing it. There doesn't need a belt attached to such a great fight. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Agreed 1,000%. There doesn't have to be for a belt. I think I know why they attached the belt to it, because of the so it could be the main event, because they want every main event of a pay-per-view, they want to have some type of title attached to it. I'm thinking that was a big part of it. Now, mind you, the co-main event is Kevin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya for that night. the same night, right? So you're talking
Another interim.
yeah, your co-main and your main are both interim belts. So go figure with that one. But no, it doesn't have.
How do you think that plays out? How do you think that? Well, you've gone straight into the co-main. How do you think that actually plays out?
I think Kevin Gastelum is really crafty. I don't think. I think the experience. Don't get me wrong. Israel is experienced because he's got a lot of kickboxing fights. So it's not like he's brand new. But I think Kelvin's experience in the more higher profile fights is going to be really to his advantage in this one. And I think that. Not to say that a lot of people were trashing Izzy and Silva with their fight, last weekend, but I think it was just a testament to how good I think they both were. I don't think it's really a knock on either of them. Was it a great fight? Not really. But I think it was just because they were both so good. But anyway, that's beside the point. I don't think Izzy takes Gastelum. I think Gastelum wins, and I think we finally get to see the Whitaker Gastelum fight for the
even though he's an Anzac, I will go against Adesanya. I think Gastelum, if he comes in with that game plan, I didn't think Gastelum could take Whitaker down because of Whitaker's takedown defense. But everything Gastelum's good at, I think, is Adesanya's weakness, which is his takedowns. I know he's a hell of a lot better. He's done a hell of a lot of work. But Kelvin is an elite wrestler. And I think he matches up better with Adesanya than he does with Whitaker. So again, I'm expecting a 5-round decision for Kelvin. I hate to say it because I am from over here and everyone calls me biased, but he's the first exclusive I'm going against an Impact. That's the first time.
I guess let's backtrack just a little bit. So we're talking about the interim belt with 155. Tony Ferguson was the interim champion. He injures his knee, trips on the cord, right? The infamous tripping over the wire thing. He loses his interim belt. He never lost it. They stripped him of it because of the injury. He goes right in, beats Anthony Pettis. He's still on this hot streak, right? So you've got Poirier on a hot streak. You got Holloway on a hot streak. You got Ferguson on a hot streak. What do you do with these guys? Do you give Ferguson McGregor? It doesn't really make sense ranking-wise. It doesn't make sense, but
that could make sense. But really, they've really not that they've announced it, but everyone's pretty sure that Cowboy's getting McGregor. So that really takes away from that. So you look at Tony and you go, okay, what is next for him? But it's going to be interesting. I'm not upset about the fight. I just don't think an interim title needs to be on there. It doesn't cheapen the card if there's no title belt. No one cares about interims. No one cares about Colby's interim. So why do we care about this one?
I don't know, man. It's really interesting to me. I'm fascinated by the fight. The behind-the-scenes stuff is a little questionable, but I'm fascinated by the fight itself. I'm very anxious to see, or very curious to see what this opens up. What if Max wins this? I don't think it's a what if, but what if Max Holloway wins this? And then you got Khabib. You're talking a monster of a fight, Khabib and Max Holloway. I think Max.
Let's hope that happens.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the immovable force versus the unstoppable object. I really think that's kind of what we're looking at here with Khabib and Holloway. I think it
won't have the biggest billing, but for the real MMA fans and not just the enthusiasts, everyone will look at this as probably the biggest fight in one of the biggest fights in MMA history. Like you've got your McGregor and Diaz, but technically those two fighting each other is probably bigger for the sport.
Oh yeah.
And I honestly can't wait. So yeah.
All right, guys. Well, please sound off in the comments. Let us know what you think. Don't forget, check out our YouTube, subscribe, Facebook, like, share, all that good stuff. You know what to do. Twitter, Instagram, we're everywhere nowadays. Sound off. You agree with us, you don't agree with us. Give us your thoughts. Maybe you have a whole different take that we're not even thinking about. And for Wayne Carl, for Josh Furs, we're Combat Insiders, and we're out.